Om Namo Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Nashnaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaaya Cha Nandakumāraya Gopindāya Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna-prestapadaye Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauranga Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Varsana Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Would anybody like to recollect last week's class?
Should I say in the interest of time?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so 50th shloka was spoken by Chataka bird to the cloud. Although so many reservoir of water waits, although there are so many reservoir of water, Chataka bird waits only for the rain. And the Chataka bird addresses, O munificent cloud, the best among giver of water. And yourself mentioned about that superlative degree, Vara. So, Prabhuji, I just wanted to know this Deva Vara you had mentioned. So now Vara has to be in the end. It cannot be in the beginning.
No, usually Vara is Deva Vara. Should be the end.
End only. Okay, okay. So it's for it to be a superlative degree, it has to be in the end, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Fine. So the sustenance of Chataka is only you. This is what the Chataka bird is addressing to the cloud. Who does not know this fact? Why are you waiting for this Chataka bird, that is us, to express its difficult conditions and pitiable state? So the underlining meaning in the mood of the shloka is that the real donor gives charity even without being expressed by the recipient's difficulty or pitiable plea of the needy. So the donor keeps searching for suitable recipient, and if the vice versa, then it means that it shows pitiable state of the society. Then you quoted the shloka of Parashar Smriti. Then yourself spoke about who's the topmost, Madhyam, and Adhama person. Then you spoke about Krishna and Sudama, how Krishna gives charity. And he says, I cannot even match in return of what Sudama has given me. And he gave everything in his absence, all the opulence. And Sudama did not express a pitiable state. This is the mood of the donor you had spoken about. Then Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto, the disciple, you mentioned that how a disciple who understands the mood of the guru even without being told by guru and executes the will of the guru is the topmost. And mediocre is after being told by guru, he executes the order. And lowest is even after being told by guru, he does not execute the order. The 51 shloka is the verse spoken by the cloud to the Chataka bird. So he says, with peaceful mind, please hear patiently and attentively. In the sky, there are many clouds residing, but all clouds are not munificent. Some clouds profusely drench the earth with their water. Some clouds only make sound. They don't shower rain. So don't go to any clouds, as be selective in understanding your pitiable condition. And then you also spoke about how one should confide into devotees, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, what he speaks about. Then how one should not one should be beware of Mayavadis and non-devotees. One must not reveal vratas. Chanakya Pandit speaks about nine things which one must be secretive about: age, wealth, flaws in the family, mantras, medicines, privacy in household life, charity, honor, dishonor. Then yourself spoke about how Dronacharya believed in childhood words of Drupada and expressed pitiable condition of him. And he goes to Drupada, but Drupada insults him. So Drona, he did not express to the right person. So my question here is that even Dronacharya, okay, even if Drupada had promised him half kingdom, but Dronacharya, he should also express or ask for charity, because what he did was not in a correct manner, right? Because even if you ask, you cannot ask for the whole kingdom. He could have asked for little, and Drupada would have given it to him.
Yes.
Yeah. So he insulted him only because he said something which was not right. So that's why that also a point. And then 52 shloka is nature of the wicked people. 6 qualities were mentioned. Mercilessness was spoken about, and how without any reason people are cruel to each other. Without any reason they are fighting, desire other people's wealth, desiring other people's wives, not being able to tolerate good people, envious of one's own people. So you mentioned about how Duryodhan fought with Pandavas, and they wanted to enjoy Draupadi, greedy to possess their wealth, and how Duryodhan was cursed by Maitreya Rishi. Then Veda's example was also given. Then 53rd shloka is Durjana. Even if a bad conduct person is decorated with good learning, he should be avoided. Serpent decorated by attractive gem, he should be avoided. So analogy you had mentioned about bhakti, bhagavad bhakti hinasya. Without bhagavad bhakti, person may be endowed with high tapasya, but it's like decorations on dead body. And then yourself mentioned about how Lord Shiva tells Sati when she insisted on going for her father Daksha's sacrifice. So, how Lord Shiva um, addresses, he says that Daksha has Vidya, Tapasya, wealth, beautiful body, youthful body. He's born in high family, but he's blinded by pride. Just as the milk in contact with poison gets transformed into a poison and is not suitable for consumption and loses its nutrition, similarly, good qualities when comes in contact with pride becomes false, and person loses discrimination. He cannot see the glory of saintly souls. Such a person becomes demon, and they start criticizing and offending great souls. Yeah. So this much.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So we covered to the 53rd shloka. We'll go to the 54th shloka today. जाड्यं श्रीमति गण्यते व्रतरुचौ दम्बशुचौ कैतवम् शूरे निर्गृणता मुनौ विमतिता दैन्यं प्रिया लापिनी तेजस्विन्यवलिप्तता मुकरता वक्तर्यशक्तिस्थिरे तत्को नाम गुणो भवेत्स गुणिनाम् यो दुर्जनैर्नाङ्कित. So in this particular shloka, Bhartrhari, one minute. In this particular sloka, Bhartrhari, what does he speak about? Gunanam api durjana doshatvena eva sambhavayanti. A person may have many good qualities, but the wicked people, durjanas, they see the good qualities as the fault. That is what is described here. The nature of the wicked or the fault-finding people, they see even the good quality, they interpret the good qualities as the faults. So many examples are given. Srimati. Srimati means what? Srimati means Lajja Shile. Lajja Shile. That means a gentle behavior, we can say. Srimati means Lajja Shile, gentle behavior, or being shy. So Srimati Jadyam. They interpret the gentle behavior as something dullness. As dullness, or they see that as a weakness of the character. Jadyam. Vrataruchau Dambah Ganyate. So the word Ganyate should be there for all the examples. Srimati Jadyam Ganyate. They consider the gentle behavior as the weakness of character. They consider such a person as an inert or a dull person. Vrataruchau Dambah Ganyate. Ganyate should be added for each example. Vrataruchau, that means somebody who is very meticulous in observing different vratas. Somebody who is who has a ruchi for performing vratas. That means has a ruchi for performing tapasya. It's a good quality. But then Durjanas, how do they see the good quality? Dambaha Ganyate. They will see that this person is simply trying to make a show. Damba means a person makes a show of being religious. Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsak Shantirarjavam. Adambitvam means not making a show of being a religious person. Vrataruchav Dambaha Ganyate. And then Shuchav Kaitavam Ganyate. Shuchav means purity. Or Shuchav means, we can say, honest person. Kaitavam, somebody who is a honest person, they interpret such a person as a pretender or a hypocrite. Kaitavam. Shure Nirgrinata, somebody who is courageous, bold and courageous, they interpret that quality as a, oh, this person is cruel or merciless. Nirgrinata, a brave person as a cruel. Munau Vimatita. Munau means, Muni means somebody who is Manana Shila, who is contemplative. It's a good quality because most people, they act based on instincts. Munau means contemplative. But they consider the good quality as Vimatita. Vimatita means a fool. Vimatita. Munau means, we can say, contemplative, introvert person. They consider such a person as a fool. Dainyam Priya Lapini. So Priya Lapini means somebody who is a sweet talker. Somebody like speaks sweetly in a pleasing manner. That's a good quality. Anudvega Karam Vakyam Satyam Priyahitam. Priya, one should speak in a pleasing way. But they will see that, interpret that good quality as a, oh, this person is a boot licker. He's simply a sycophant or boot licker. Dainyam. Priya Lapini Dainyam Ganyate. Tejaswini Avaliptata Ganyate. Tejaswini, Tejaswini here means an influential person. So they will consider the influential person as a avaliptata, as a haughty person. Haughty, as a proud person. Avaliptata means what? Avaliptata is given as abhimanitvam. Abhimanitvam. So something like a proud person. And then Vaktari. Vaktari means Bhashana Shakti Sampanne. Somebody who is a good and actually giving a talk. Who is a good talker. It's a good quality, somebody who is expert in speaking. But they will interpret that good quality as Mukarata. Mukarata means being garrulous. Means he is the talkative person. Vaktari, we can say an extrovert or somebody who's good talker. They will interpret that good quality. Oh, this person is overly talkative. He simply keeps talking all the time. And then stire. Stire means somebody who is steady. But they will interpret the good quality as ashaktihi. Ashaktihi means as incompetent. So somebody who is steady like a peaceful sage, they see the good quality as an incompetent of material progress. Ashaktihi. So tat ko nama guno bhavet sa guninam yo durjanair nankitaha. So which good quality is there which the durjana will not interpret as a fault? Ko nama tat ko nama guno bhavet sa guninam yo durjanair nankitaha. Name one good quality that these durjanas, rascals, have not maligned with their fault finding. So this verse talks about the nature of actually fault finding. There will be like this represents a particular mindset. There will be some people who will always interpret even the good quality as a fault only. And this is applicable even on the path of spiritual life. Sometimes those devotees who are not like-minded, even within the community of devotees, they may give some uncharitable opinions of devotees. They may criticize the devotees. Even other devotees who are not like-minded, they may criticize the certain behavior of certain devotees. So generally we find nowadays in the world has become full of people who don't hesitate to find faults in others and yet are extremely sensitive when somebody finds a fault in them. So definitely we find in the political field, suppose government is maybe making a good decision, but even that good decision they will interpret it as a fault only. So essentially, anything which the opposite party does, we have to oppose it by default, not seeing whether it is good or bad. So we perform Krishna Bhakti for our own purification. So anybody who tries to bring our enthusiasm for seva, sometimes there may be good constructive criticism which we have to take it, which we have to accept it, we have to correct it. But sometimes there will be people who simply try to find faults actually, and they try to bring down others' enthusiasm. Then such people will have to be ignored. Such people will have to be ignored. So Bhartrhari is speaking this famous verse. So if we see here some example in the Bhagavatam, Daksha Prajapati's attitude towards Lord Shiva. Laksha Prajapati, the way he criticizes Lord Shiva, it is described in the Bhagavatam. Ayam tu lokapalanam yashogno nirapatrapaha sadbir acharita panta yena sthabdena doshita. So he said that being shameless, Shiva has destroyed the fame of the protectors of the planets. Because the most proud Shiva has polluted the path followed by the well-bred. Sadbir acharita panta ena sthabdena doshitaha. So here we see that Daksha Prajapati is actually saying that Shiva has destroyed the fame of the Lokapalas. But the actual fact is that Sridhara Swami also gives an alternative meaning of the shloka. But the actual fact is, by his own fame, Shiva derides the fame of all others. That is the actual truth. Shiva is so famous, by that he derides the fame of all others. But Daksha Prajapati is interpreting the good quality of Shiva's fame as a bad quality, that Shiva has destroyed the fame of the protector of the planets. Nirapatrapa means actually shameless, but it can also mean one who gives shelter to those without deliverance. So Lord Shiva has this good quality that he gives shelter to those people who are those without deliverance. That means people like ghosts and hobgoblins. But Jaksha Prajapati is interpreting that good quality as shameless, Nirapatrapa. And Sadbir Acharita Panta. Lord Shiva is without shame because the path followed by the well-mannered is spoiled by the best of the proud. I didn't get this point. Anyway, but Daksha Prajapati is interpreting every good quality of Shiva as a bad quality. Another next he says that Yesha me shishyatam prapto yenme duhitur agrahit. This Lord Shiva has accepted himself as my subordinate by marrying my daughter in the presence of fire and the Brahmanas, posing as a well-bred person. Posing as a well-bred person. So, but in this verse, the criticism is clear. So Daksha Prajapati is criticizing Lord Shiva that Lord Shiva has actually, by posing himself as a well-bred person, he accepted my daughter. But then, although he has accepted himself as my subordinate, but he is not giving respect as a subordinate towards a superior. He did not stand up to welcome me. Like that, he is finding fault in Lord Shiva. But the same verse is interpreted in another way as if it describes the good quality of Shiva. What is that? Lord Shiva, having understood the qualities in my daughter, who is equal to Savitri, Lord Shiva has married my daughter. What good behavior is this on my part? I don't have any good behavior, but still Lord Shiva married my daughter, having understood the qualities of my daughter. This is the actual fact. But Daksha Prajapati is interpreting this good quality as a fault. And then he says that having married my daughter with fawn-like eyes, the monkey-eyed Lord Shiva has not given proper respect to me with even words. Although I deserve the honor of persons rising and addressing me politely. So, So here he is calling Lord Shiva as Markatalochana, the monkey-eyed person. But yeah, the same verse has another meaning. What is another meaning? Seeing mercifully materialists who are like monkeys, he grants their desires. Unfortunately, I have not respected properly with words such a person like Lord Shiva who deserves that I rise and speak politely with him. This is what he should have actually told Lord Shiva. This is a, but because that is the Lord Shiva is worthy to be respected. But Daksha Prajapati, because he is seeing the fault of Lord Shiva, he is actually speaking differently. And then he says that although not desiring to do so, I have given my daughter to a person who has not performed rituals, who does not perform rituals, and who is impure, who is proud, and who violates the rules of conduct. I have acted as if giving the message of the Vedas to a Shudra. He is again criticizing Lord Shiva. But the same words can also be interpreted in another way as a praise of Lord Shiva. How? Because Lord Shiva is in a liberated position, he does not need to perform any rituals. And nobody is cleaner than him because he is on a liberated platform. He is not proud and does not break the rules. He is not proud and does not break the rules. And seeing my own lack of qualification, I did not want to give my daughter, but I gave her. I am unqualified like the Shudras who teach the Vedas. This should be the actual meaning, the glorification of Shiva, but he is seeing the fault of Lord Shiva. And then further he says that, oh, this Lord Shiva is naked like a madman. He sometimes laughs, sometimes cries. He lives in filthy places like crematorium, surrounded by ghosts and demons, wanders about in horrible places of the dead. Using crematorium ashes as his bath, he ornaments his body with a garland of skulls and human bones. He is inauspicious, although he has a false name called as Shiva, that means auspicious. So actually, this verse, how it should be interpreted? Well, this is nothing but a pastime of Lord Shiva, who is mad with prema for the Lord. And Lord Shiva is so great that he even makes the worst of places like crematorium, he makes those places become auspicious. There is no one greater than Shiva in auspiciousness. He is the leader of persons who are completely in ignorance. As praise, it indicates that Shiva, as a pastime, by his will, accepts even the most ignorant out of mercy. So we see Daksha Prajapati is an example of a person who had a fault finding propensity. He saw every good quality of Shiva as a fault. Another place in the sixth canto also, Daksha Prajapati criticizes and curses Narada Muni. In that purport, Prabhupada says that Daksha Prajapati is definitely a very pious person. He very rigidly followed the duties of a grahastha ashram. In that sense, he was a pious person. In that sense, he was a sadhu. But Daksha Prajapati had he had fault finding propensity, and because of that, he saw every good quality of Narada Muni as a fault, and he criticized Narada Muni. So there is a sin of righteousness. Sometimes the people because they are dharmic. Oh, they say, oh, we are following all the rules properly. And then they are proud of the righteousness. And then because of the superiority complex, they criticize or they find fault with even the devotees. So Daksha Prajapati had a fault-finding propensity, like that Prabhupada says. And later Sati herself, she speaks a famous verse. Doshan paresham hi guneshu sadavo grishnanti kechin na bhavadrisho dvija gunamsya falgun bahuli karishnavo mahattamastesh avidat bhavanagam. Sati, before ending her body, she speaks a series of verses where she says, she tells to Daksha, O Brahmana, saintly persons see that faults are capable of being transformed into good qualities, and see good qualities are not the faults. You are the opposite. The best persons magnify even meager good qualities in another person, and you see only fault in others. So, here Daksha, Sati is actually contrasting between the character of Shiva and the character of Daksha. Saintly persons like Lord Shiva, they see that they interpret even the faults as the good qualities, because they will see that, oh, these faults will be eventually be transformed into good qualities, and therefore they see the fault as the good qualities. They don't see the faults. But on the other hand, persons like you, you magnify even the you see only the fault in others. Even somebody has good qualities, you interpret that good quality as a fault. And the saintly persons magnify even the smallest good qualities in other person. So in this purport, Vishwanath Chakotipa talks about 4 categories: sadhu, asadu, sadhutara, asadhutara, sadhutama, asadhutama, ati sadhutama, and ati asadhutama. So he says that sadhu means what? Those of good conduct, they accept even faults in others. Since the faults can be eventually transformed by certain methods into good qualities. So that means the sadhus, they see the faults. So they see the faults, but and they will see that, oh, these faults will eventually be transformed into good qualities. And this is the characteristic of a sadhu. But the opposite is asadhu. So asadhus, these people, they see the good qualities, but they'll think that, oh, these good qualities will turn into faults. That means like somebody is trying to help others, and they will say that, oh, he'll become greedy for their assets later. So somebody, suppose one devotee was chanting blissfully, but another devotee made a sarcastic remark. Oh, he's just a new devotee now, therefore he's showing enthusiasm. Or maybe he could clear his stomach properly, therefore he is blissful. I mean, there's a cynical or sarcastic remark. And then second category is sadhu tara and asadu tara. So sometimes the word sadhu tara is used, or instead of the word sadhu, mahat is also used. Mahat tara and asadhu tara. So mahat tara or sadhu tara, both way we can use. Mahat tara means what? they overlook the faults. Somebody has faults, but they don't see they overlook the faults, they see only the good qualities. And asadutara is opposite of that. They see only faults. They overlook the good qualities. So they'll see, oh, this sannyasi eats ghee rice to fill his stomach. Or he's lusty, or he should be considered fallen. So they see only faults, they overlook the good qualities. And then third category is sadhu tama or mahattama. So these people, they take smallest good qualities and magnify them. And they do not even see the smallest faults. So for example, somebody has stolen, for example, you say, oh, this person has stolen my cloth because he's cold. Because there is a cold. And although he has a weapon, means like, although he has a weapon, he does not attack me because he is merciful. That means like he is the sadhu tama. They do not see the faults, smallest faults. They even take small good qualities and magnify them. Oh, there is a sadhu tama or mahattama. And asadhu tama means they take the smallest fault and magnify them. And they don't see good qualities at all. So this renunciant has given up the forest and lives in the house of a married man. He only wants to steal their money. So like that, one will speak asadutama. And the fourth category is ati sadutama and ati asadutama. So ati sadutama means they see good qualities in others where there are no good qualities. So like Uttama Adhikari Bhakta. In this world, there are no bad people. Everybody is good. Ati asadutama means they see only faults in others even when there are no faults. In this world, nobody is good. Everybody is evil. So we see that in this verse, something like every good quality is interpreted as a bad quality. So for example, the acharyas also exhibited. Acharyas, for example, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, some devotees brought an article in which criticism of the devotees were written in the newspaper. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say that, and there was another article in which the praise of the devotees were mentioned. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that, oh, this article which contains criticism is a better article because it has more names of Krishna. When people read this, they may chant more names of Krishna. So he saw even the criticism as something as a good thing because people will get to chant more names of Krishna. Like that, there are many examples which can be spoken. So this fault-finding propensity, that is what is spoken here. Once there was for example, and Prabhupada once came to Chennai. So there was some Brahmanas who told, oh, your disciples are not chanting properly. They are not pronouncing properly. They are not pronouncing the mantras properly. So Prabhupada could see the critical attitude. He saw that why don't you come to our mata and stay in our mata and teach our disciples. But only condition is that in our mata there is no tea and coffee. So then immediately he said, oh, their chanting is not so bad. So in the sense, sometimes in this world, there are people who will interpret even the good quality as a bad only. So for example, so there was a movie which was made. In that movie, the devotees were shown as if like consuming intoxicants. And Giriraj Maharaj went for that movie, and and he thought that it is a movie about the devotees but then the first scene that was shown, the devotees were consuming intoxicants, LSD and this thing. And then he went and reported to Prabhupada that devotees were portrayed like this in the movie. And Prabhupada said that, oh, that is the nature of the world. Even the good things will be interpreted as the bad. But in due course of time, people will forget the Dhammarodham and they will remember only Hare Krishna. So, like that, we can see about fault finding. So, Shakuntala told Dushyanta, O king, you can see the faults of others, although they may be as small as the mustard seed. But you cannot see your own faults, although they are as big as the bilva fruit. When Dushyanta was speaking in an indifferent manner to Shakuntala, Shakuntala spoke about the nature of fault finding. One will see others' faults, although they may be as small as the mustard seed, but one cannot see one's own fault, although they are as big as the bilva fruit. So this is a beautiful shloka about the nature of Durjana, and they interpret every good quality as the fault. And the opposite of that, we will also see another verse which will come in due course. How they see the smallest good as the smallest good also they will magnify, or they will see every good bad quality as a good quality. Once Prabhupada came to one place in America, and then there were different devotees were standing there. So there was one devotee who was previously was there in the association, but he had blooped actually. So he wasn't following any of the principles, and he took to intoxication and other wrong habits. But this devotee, uh, this devotee took to say meat eating intoxication after leaving the association. Again, he went to back to bad habits. So, but he was attached to somehow to prasadam. So sometimes he would go to the restaurant, Govinda's restaurant, to take prasadam. At the same time, he was also very critical of ISKCON. So I gave my best years in ISKCON. I would have become a rock and roll star. But I wasted that time in ISKCON like that. He was critical. I wasted my life. And he was even somewhat blaspheming Prabhupada. And therefore, no devotee would even talk to this person. But on that particular day, when Prabhupada visited that particular temple, all the devotees were in the temple because Prabhupada was coming. So that devotee asked one Mataji in that restaurant, who was managing that restaurant, why is everyone in the street? And that Mataji said that, oh, today Prabhupada is coming. But this devotee said that, oh, I want prasadam. Why nobody is serving prasadam? So he was demanding prasadam. So at that time, Prabhupada got down from the car And then Prabhupada noticed this devotee. He noticed this devotee with a long beard and a long hair. He recognized, oh, this person was previously a devotee, but now he has gone astray. And then Prabhupada rubbed his head. And then Prabhupada asked the devotee, will you cook for me? And Prabhupada asked 2 times, will you cook for me? And all the other devotees were stunned actually. Other devotees said that, oh, this person eats even meat. How can he cook for you? And it was a shock for everyone when Prabhupada asked that question. But Prabhupada, he overlooked all those faults actually. He just asked, oh, will you cook for me? This shows how great people, they just want to engage everyone in Krishna's service. Actually. So we'll go to the next shloka. लोभश्चेत् गुणेन किं पिशुनता यद्यस्ति किं पातकैः सत्यं चेत्तपसा च किं शुचिमनो यद्यस्ति तीर्थेन किं सौजन्यं यदि किं गुणैः सुमहिमा यद्यस्ति किं मण्डनैः सद्विद्या यदि किं दणैरपयशो यद्यस्ति किं मृत्युना. So in this particular shloka, Bhartruhari says that Lobhaschet agunena kim. If somebody has a lobha, greed, then what need of other bad qualities? Agunena. So the purpose of the what is the Lobhaschet agunena kim? That means Lobhasya eva sakala dosha aspadatvat. If lobha is there, that itself, that is the, so in that all the bad qualities are included within lobha, because lobha, greed, will give rise to all the bad qualities. So if lobha is there, then what need of other bad qualities? Because this will ensure that all the bad qualities will come. What other vice is there beyond avarice? Lobha means avarice. So we see that means lobha is the source of all the bad qualities. If this one bad quality is there, then all the bad qualities will come from this. So, for example, Krishna tells in the to Uddhava when he speaks about the Avanti Brahmana story, Yasho Yashasvinam Shuddham Shlagya ye Guninam Gunaha Lobas Swalpopi Tan Hanti Shvitro Rupam Ivepsitam. Whatever pure fame is possessed by the famous, and whatever praiseworthy qualities are found in the virtuous, they are destroyed by even a small amount of greed. Just as one's attractive physical beauty is ruined by a trace of white leprosy. So that means all the good qualities are destroyed even by a small amount of greed. That means what? A greed is the source of all the bad qualities. Even a small amount of greed has the capacity to destroy all the good qualities. So therefore, lovaschet agunena kim. So what we can see, almost for every shloka of the Niti Shatakam, we found some example from the Bhagavatam actually. So this also proves that how Bhagavatam is the Nigama Kalpatarur Galitam Phalam. It is the ripened fruit of the tree of the Vedic knowledge. So within the tree of the Vedic knowledge, so many subjects are there. One of the subject is the general Niti. moral conduct. But even that moral conduct can also be seen in the Bhagavatam also. For every shloka in the Niti Shataka, we found some example in the Bhagavatam. This again proves that how Bhagavatam contains the essence, and Bhagavatam beyond the Niti contains the highest dharma also. And then he says that Pishunata yad yasti kim patakaihi. Pishunata means what? Pishunata means fault finding or backbiting. चुगलखोरी करना, चुगलखोरी करना मतलब बैक बाइटिंग. सो यदि चुगलखोरी हो तो पाप का क्या काम? दैट मीन्स व्हाट? दैट this pishunata will be the source of all the papa. This pishunata will give rise to all the papa. So if this one fault is there, then what is the need of some individually enumerating other faults? Because this one fault will give rise to all the papas. So what sin can be worse than slandering? Pishunata, if you see in the Bhagavad Gita also, this word comes. The 16th chapter, when Krishna speaks about divine qualities, Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Yogo Vyavasthitihi Dhanam Dhamaccha Yajnascha Sadhyaya Tapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas Tyagakshantir Apaishunam. Apaishunam. Pishunata. Apaishunam is the opposite of Pishunata. Apaishunam means what? Not using bad words against another person in his absence. This is given by Baldev Vidyabhushan. Or Apaishunam means Para Nartakara Vakya Nivedana Akaranam. This is given by Ramanuja. Meaning is that refraining from speaking what causes damage to others is called Apaishuna. So even if somebody has some defects, if we tell the defect, it may cause anartha to that person. It may cause a damage to that person. So not doing that is called apaishun. So sometimes we see even sometimes leaders or somebody they did commit mistakes, but the way it is described in such detail openly, say internet or every forum, so that causes the person might have done some mistake, but then the way it is magnified and is propagated like anything, and then that person no way can again come back to the community or association of devotees. Such kind of atmosphere is created. So that is actually Pishunata. And then next, Satyam Chet Tapasa Chakim. That means if somebody is truthful, then what is the need to perform any other tapasya? What worth of penances when there is veracity? If somebody is truthful, then what is the need of performing other tapasya? So that means like, truthfulness is considered to be the highest tapasya. So these are all, as I mentioned, Niti Shataka is a general moral principles. About truthfulness also, we spoke many different things in the past, many different examples. Bali Maharaj says that the earth can tolerate everyone except a person who is liar, except a person who is untruthful. So even in the Mahabharata also, Shakuntala speaks about how the truthfulness is the highest dharma. So the other scriptures like Mahabharata, they highlight the different aspects of higher other dharmas apart from the Bhagavad Dharma as the different other dharmas, they glorify the other dharmas. The Srimad Bhagavatam, Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yado Bhakti Radokshaje. Ahaituki Apratihata Yatma Suprasidati. The unmotivated devotional service is considered to be the highest. And for sometimes, for the sake of Krishna, one can be untruthful. Vasudev spoke lie to Kamsa for the sake of Krishna. But here, from the Niti Shataka point of view, here from the moral principles point of view, if somebody is truthful, then what is the need of other tapasya? For example, Shakuntala tells that Ashwamedha Sahasram cha Satyam cha Tulaya Dhritam Ashwamedha Sahasrardi Satyameva Vishishyate. 1000 अश्वमेध यज्ञ एक और तथा सत्य भाषण का पुण्य दूसरी ओर यदि तराजू पर रखा जाए तो 1000 अश्वमेध यज्ञों की अपेक्षा सत्य का पलाड़ा ही भारी होता है. On one side of the scale you put 1000 Ashwamedha Yajna, and on another side of the scale you put the quality of being truthful. So the quality of being truthful will weigh heavier than the 1000 Ashwamedha Yajnas. Sarva Vedadi Gamanam Sarva Tirtava Gahanam Satyam Cha Vachanam Rajan Samam Va Syanna Vasam. संपूर्ण वेदों का अध्ययन और समस्त तीर्थों का स्नान भी सत्य वचन की समानता कर सकेगा या नहीं, इसमें संदेह नहीं. Being truthful is higher than the doing adhyayana of all the Vedas and taking bath in all the tirthas. Like that, truthfulness is also glorified. And then next is Shuchi Mano Yadyasti Tirtena Kim. If somebody has a pure mind, then what is the need of performing snana in the different tirthas? So purity of the mind is most important. Sometimes we become very particular about going to holy places and performing snana in different tirthas. So if you go to Rameshwaram, there are 21 wells are there. So we may become very particular in taking bath in all the 21 wells. One may go to, say, it's not that we neglect the importance of going to holy places and taking bath. That's one of the anga of bhakti. In the Purushottam Mass, we may visit holy places and take bath. But sometimes when we only become ritualistic and when we don't capture the spirit of that activity, we may still not introspect whether our mind is pure or not. In our mind, we may maintain certain anarthas still. For example, Durvasa Muni was inside the Yamuna water. But when he understood that Ambarish Maharaj drank little water to break his fast, he became so angry, he came to kill Ambarish Maharaj. Although he was deep within therefore, holy place does not guarantee holy consciousness. For that, one has to put that endeavor also. Shaubari Mani was deep within the waters of Yamuna. But then he came out of the waters of Yamuna and then he went on to marry 51 daughters of Mandata. So the purpose of going to the holy places and taking bath is to purify the mind. So that purpose should not be forgotten. One should not do simply as a matter of ritual. Saujanyam yadi kim gunaihi. Saujanyam means what? Sujanata. Saujanya means being good. Civility, civil behavior. Civility. So if the Saujanyam is there, civil behavior is there, what is the need of other good qualities? Or in another version of the same shloka, Saujanyam yadikim nijaihi, like instead of gunaihi, nijaihi is mentioned. Nijaihi means relatives. That means if the civil behavior is there, what is the need of other relatives? So that civility or Saujanyam also means goodness, kindness. So this quality itself is one's best relative. What is the need of other relatives? Because by this quality, one will win many friends and relatives. If there's one good quality of Saujanyam, civil behavior, goodness or kindness is there, then what is the need of other relatives? Because by this quality, you will win over all the relatives. Su mahima yadyasti kim mandanaihi. Su mahima yadyasti, that means if a person has a good fame, then what is the need of other ornaments? Yadyasti kim mandanai means ornaments. If a person has a good fame, what is the need of other ornaments? In the Bhagavatam, there is a shloka about Queen Archi, the wife of Prithu Maharaj. It is said that Iyam cha Sudati Devi Guna Bhushana Bhushana Archir Nama Vararoha Prutum Yeva Varundati. The female Archi has such beautiful teeth and beautiful qualities that she will actually beautify the ornaments she wears. That means the good qualities of Archi, they beautify the ornaments she wears. Guna Bhushana Bhushana. Her name will be Archi. So we see that the real ornaments are one's good fame, which arises because of good qualities. If such a good fame is there because of good qualities, what is the need of other ornaments? Su mahima yadyasti kim mandanai. And then sadvidya yadikim danair. If a person has sadvidya, if a person has knowledge, then what is the need of other wealth? So we discussed previously itself about how wealth is, the knowledge is the highest wealth. What is that shloka? One minute. That shloka. Na choraharyam, na rajaharyam. Second. So the wealth is the wealth. There is a particular wealth which cannot be stolen by the thieves. It cannot be taken away by the king. It will not be na bhatrubhajyam. It will not be divided among the brothers. And na chorharyam, na rajaharyam, na bhatrubhajyam. And the more we spend it, that means the more we give away this wealth in charity, the more it grows. Vyayam krite vardate eva nityam. And what is that wealth? Vidyadanam. Vidyadanam sarvadana pradhanam. So in that way it is described. And then lastly, Sadvidya yadikim danair apayasho yadyasti kim mrityuna. If somebody has infamy, there is nothing worse than that. Even the death is insignificant in compared to infamy. Apayasho yadyasti kim mrityuna. If the where remains the fear of death after disgrace. If there is a disgrace, then even the death is insignificant. The fear of death is insignificant. So Krishna says that akirtim chapi bhutani katayishyanti tevyaya sambhavitasya chakirtir maranad atirichyate. For one who has great position, dishonor is worse than death. So in this shloka, we see that in this shloka, there's a particular alankara called as pratipa alankara is used. What is pratipa alankara? Pratipa matlab ulta या विपरीत, reverse. That means जहां बड़े को छोटा और छोटे को बड़ा बताया जाता है, हाँ, उसको प्रतीत अलंकार. Something is big, but we see that is spoken as a small. Something is small, but that is spoken as a big. अर्थात जब उपमेय को उपमान और उपमान को उपमेय बना दिया जाता है, तब वहां प्रतीप अलंकार होता है. So for example, सीता जी के मुख की तुलना बेचारा चंद्रमा नहीं कर सकता. We cannot compare Sita's face with the Chandrama. Chandrama is too inferior in compared to Sita's face. Sita's face is the Upameya and the Chandrama is the Upamana. So here, Upameya, normally in a Upama, a comparison is made. Upameya and Upamana. That Upameya is like Upamana. Oh, this person's say Chitra's face is like a moon. Means there is a tulna comparison. That is a normal comparison. But in Pratipa Alankara, oh, this person's face cannot be compared. It is so great that even if we compare with the Chandrama, Chandrama is too inferior to be compared with this person's face. So that means Upameya here, Upameya को श्रेष्ठ बताया है. Upameya is considered so great and Upamana is considered so inferior. So this is the Pratipa Alankara. उपमेय को श्रेष्ठ बताया है, इसलिए प्रतीप अलंकार है. उपमान को नीचे बताया गया. So that is, we see that same alankar is used here. For example, lobachet agunena kim. So loba is the upameya, aguna is the upamana. So loba is considered shreshta. That means loba is the, what is the need of all the other agunas, all the other doshas, because loba itself will lead to all the doshas. Pishunuta yadyasti kim patakai. Patakai means papa, sin. Pishunata, this upamaya is considered so great. Great means in the negative sense, that all the other papas are insignificant in compared to this particular Pishunata. Similarly, all the other cases also. Therefore, Pratipa Alankara is being used here. So we saw two shlokas. The first shloka is about how Durjanas, the wicked people, they interpret every good quality as a bad quality. We saw some examples from the Bhagavatam, Daksha Prajapati, Lord Shiva's example. And then next shloka is about comparison of, suppose, different vices. Some vices which are considered to be very high, and some good qualities which are good things which are considered to be very high. Like purity of the mind is there. What is the need of other performing other, taking bath in other holy places? Somebody speaking truthful thing, then what is the need of other tapasya? So like that, that means the purpose of all tapasya is to be truthful. The purpose of taking bath in the holy places is to be purity of the mind. And if somebody has a good fame, then what is the need of other ornaments? When the purpose of decorating oneself or this thing is ultimately to get good fame and good qualities. So like that. Hare Krishna. So anybody would like to add anything?
Um, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I'm sorry I joined late. I was working. So just wanted to share something, very indirectly related to whatever little bit I heard. I met a patient and she was complaining about one of her family members. Like the family member is so pious and very, according to my level, they are very epitome of piousness.
Mm.
And the way she was bitching about them, and the last sentence she said was, भगवान भी बुरे लोग से डरते हैं. So, uh, I really भगवान बुरे लोग से डरते. हाँ, इसलिए ये बुरे लोग. The lady was 90, 91 and husband was also 90 years. And I said, ये लोग तो लगते नहीं है इतने उम्र के. तो अभी तक 80s में लगते हैं या late 70s लगते हैं. बोलते नहीं, बुरे इसलिए आप देखोगे जो अच्छे लोग हैं वो जल्दी मर जाते हैं और जो बुरे लोग हैं वो उनकी बुराइयां के लिए और लंबे रहते हैं. भगवान भी उनसे डरता है. So, and then whatever little I heard, like about fame and Upaya, Upamaya, and all that stuff. So, I was just trying to correlate what I heard over there and what I'm hearing here after my work. So, just needed your comment on this statement. भगवान भी बुरे लोग से डरते हैं और ये लोग जल्दी मरते भी नहीं हैं.
That's what we discussed in the first shloka actually. Today we discussed two shlokas. The first shloka we discussed that how there will be people in this world who will interpret the good quality as the bad quality. Somebody is gentle, but they will interpret it as, oh, this person is a dull or a weakness. He's a weak person. Somebody is a sweet talker. They will interpret that this person as is a bootlicker, the sycophant. Somebody is a brave person. They will interpret that good quality as oh, this person is merciless, is cruel. So sometimes such kind of cynical, seeing the good quality as the bad, that mindset. That's what we spoke in the first verse. Fault finding propensity. Fault finding is one thing, like you actually try to find faults. But another aspect of fault finding is that you interpret the good quality also as a fault only, instead of actually seeing it as a good.
True, Prabhuji.
So one should neglect such people and go ahead.
Another important point which really struck my heart, the way these people talk. She was saying वो नीलकंठ होता है, लॉर्ड शिवा ने पॉइजन लिया, वो पॉइजन उसके गले तक ही रोका. So it was similar to what Gaurang Prabhu had said in the Bhagavatam course in Vada. Something similar, but I'll just try to combine both the sentences, her sentence and Gaurang Prabhu's sentence. Like you should tolerate titiksha, you should tolerate like how Lord Shiva took the poison and he put it in his, stuck it in his throat. So similarly, when somebody bitches about you, so you should not take it inside, dil mein nahi lena chahiye. Keep it inside over here, keep it inside your throat and don't spit it out also, because if you vent out your anger, then और धमाका होएगा और बड़ा झगड़ा हो जाएगा. So ना बाहर निकालो ना अंदर डालो, keep it inside your throat. So I really like this point, like एक कान से सुनो दूसरे कान से निकालो, like don't let it affect you and don't retaliate also, tolerate. Like Neelkant.
Sometimes we can change the topic, we can avoid it also.
Yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anybody
Hare
else
Krishna.
wants to?
Yeah. Prabhuji, yourself had mentioned about this, oh, best amongst embodied. So where would I find this? When
Which
you are
one?
speaking, when you are speaking about superlative degree, best among giver of water, then
Ambodhavara, the
no.
50th
So where will
shloka.
I? Yeah. So where will I find this? Oh, best among embodied. Arjuna is, I think, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Adibhuta.
Yeah, I
Something.
mentioned Deha Brutam Vara.
So where will I find this shloka?
That shloka, see, Deha Brutam Vara, Bhagavad Gita 8.4. Adibhutam Ksharobhava Purushachadi Daivatam Adi Yajnoham Evatra Dehe Deha Brutam Vara. Okay.
So which shloka you mentioned? Which?
8.4 Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
And Prabhuji, I had a helper named Vara Lakshmi. So that is it like one of Radharani's name, best amongst all Lakshmis, like that? Can you interpret like
No,
you said, Deva Vara?
Vara also means giving benedictions actually. Varadaraj. So usually when I say Deha Brutam Vara, there the word Vara is mentioned as a suffix, best among the Deha Bruta, best among the embodied. But when you say Vara Lakshmi, Vara also means benediction. So Varada Raja means the king among one who gives benediction. Vara Lakshmi, the Lakshmi who fulfills, who gives the best of the benedictions, who gives benedictions.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.